Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Ẹ káalẹ́ o. Ìyẹn ará àdúgbò. Ẹ̀yin ará àdúgbò ẹ káalẹ́. Ṣàlàáfíà lẹ wà? Gbogbo ilé ńkọ́? What does mean? Well, a friend of mine is starting a body butter business because I think everybody's doing it. So sent me a sample. It's a nice gum. Just that I make my own body butter without fragrance, but this smells like kind of like I don't know. There's some like cake. I don't know. It smells good. Don't get me wrong. Just don't do fragrance body butter. Hi everyone. Trying to get to Ekaleo. Ṣàlàáfíà lẹ wà? Hello TikTok family, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. What's going on, people? Hey kiddo, you good? T. Yeah. Those deep 13-year-old boys. Hi everyone. Hello, Miss Abena. How are you? How's everybody? You know what I mean, right? I love the way you interact. You make me feel at home already. Thank you. I try. That's the whole point. Come on in, everyone. Hello, Miss Fumbi. How are you? Come on in. Come on in. Say hello. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Hello. Hello, Miss Mary. How are you? Hello. I didn't even know Miss Eleanor is Miss Eleanor's on yet. Hi everyone. Come on in. Say hello when you come on. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Omo Baba Sam. Immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. The body immigration case. The body need help. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Should I go on the phone? Why? I know watch is Ago, but phone is also Ago. Like right, y'all. Let me argue. That one I think I know for a fact. Sorry, says good evening, boy. I think watch and clock. No, watch and phone. Ago méjèèjì. Yes, no. I think. Hello, Mr. Kelvin. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. See? Mobile. Yeah, give me A1. One try. Hello, Finance Shandy. How are you? Hi, everyone. Come on in. Say hello when you come on. Hello, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. Good evening. Good evening. All my girls are on now. Once again, this is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Immigration advisor located in Alabama. Alabama, USA. Wow. I represent in any state about with. Because my kids told me that the way that they know what I'm saying when I'm speaking Yoruba language, that half of what I say is in English, so they can understand what. Like they'll just respond in English. So it's about the immigration case. It's about the immigration case where in Alabama we can represent you in any state you live in, being that immigration is federal practice. Contact information for us is 334-341-4475. Can you 334 Yoruba language? Don't let me push my luck. But you get the idea. But anyway, visit our website at olalayalawfirm.com, email at info@olalayalawfirm.com. Same number on WhatsApp. Please share, like, follow, subscribe. YouTube, please stop by our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Whenever we do lives, that's one place you can always go back to if you want to pull up any of the live videos, especially when we have question night. The questions are usually part of the video uploaded to YouTube, so you don't have to miss out on that. And when you do that, just hit the subscribe button. It would be very, very appreciative of that. And yes, like Mr. Bennett says, please share this live. You never know who can benefit. So let's talk immigration, people. Come on in. Put your question. If you just joined us for the first time, welcome in. We do this Tuesdays and Thursdays. Talk about all things immigration. Discuss, answer questions as many as we can get to. Share in one another's joys and celebrations and approvals. Pray for one another. Encourage one another. It is a positive space. That's the whole idea, and that is the plan. And we talk about God. Didn't like to hear about God. What can I say? It's probably not going to be the best forum for you. But anyway, let's talk immigration. So, 𝒘𝒐𝒓𝒏𝒕 don't share the USA. It's election year. Actually, in Alabama, we have primary elections today going on in Alabama today. So things are changing, policies are being made, and all that. So let's talk about this. It surprised me. No, well, to some extent, because Georgia is a red state, right? But for the thank you, Fanishani, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. You have no idea what that means. For the fact that there's so many immigrants in the state of Georgia, this is shocking. I ain't gonna lie. This is one that I didn't see kind of like, what? Oh, I tried back in, I think it was 2011. Immigration practice and machine shame mommy's stuff, because I think in 2011 TJ was one. Yeah. So that was my full-time job. Still my full-time job, but there's more flexibility now. But so let's get a little backstory. This evening, hello, Island Gal, this bill that the state legislators in Georgia, it has passed the House. The House Republicans have passed that. It's now been forwarded to the Senate, right? Just like the U.S. Congress has House of Reps and Senate, each state has that as well. So for there to be for the bill to become law, both houses have to pass it and then forward it to either the president or the governor to sign it into law. They have an effective date, and that's how a bill becomes law. So in the state of Texas, they already have that. That one that passed last year was supposed to go into effect this month. Actually, not sure if it's now, but the federal government filed a lawsuit. So I'm not really sure, and I'll update you guys on that, whether or not there's been an injunction put in place as far as state of implementation of that law. That is the same thing that the state of Georgia is now trying to do. So we're talking about, if you just joined us, Georgia immigration bill is what we're talking about. What this bill will do is two things. Just like in the state of Texas, they are giving law enforcement officers the authority to arrest people they believe are here illegally. How are you going to figure out who is here illegally without discrimination? Somebody help me make it make sense. So if you hear the way I talk, means that because I don't sound like someone who grew up in the state of Georgia, who grew up in the South, or whatever the case may be, you're going to suspect that I am not from here. So that is racial profiling. There's no other way you want to put it. But anyway, the bill is set. So like I said, it's passed in the House. It's been forwarded to the Senate. Being that Georgia is a Republican state, it's a red state, I would not be surprised if the Senate actually passes it as well and then forwarded to a Republican governor, which is what they have. But do you know the amount of immigrants that are living in the state of Georgia? Like, shall you imagine, like, just even take Atlanta and in the surrounding areas, for instance. Are you freaking kidding me? Anyway, let's stay on course. So that's the first part. The first part is the law enforcement officers now would have the authority to figure out or to ask you whether if they believe that you're here illegally, then they can inquire into whether or not you have status. If you do not have status, this bill is going to authorize them to contact ICE and transfer you over to the custody of DHS or ICE to now face deportation. That's number one. Number two, if for whatever reason you are arrested, and I'm not really sure at this point if that would include, if you're incited or you're just arrested and put in jail for, besides speeding, obviously. But well, I don't know. Let me not say obvious, because we don't really know if this ever even goes into law, how this is going to play out. But the law also would allow jails and sheriff departments and jails to inquire into, if you get arrested, they're going to inquire into, well, first of all, they're going to inquire into whether or not you're here legally. If there's a reason why you're not being arrested and put in jail, no matter how short a time, they have to inquire whether or not once they made the inquiry that you're not here legally, you don't have any status, no papers, then the bill is going to mandate them to contact ICE and transfer you over to the custody of ICE. Any jail or sheriff's department in the state of Georgia that does not do that, they're going to lose funding, and the sheriff will most likely be guilty of a misdemeanor. That is insane. that is blow your mind, kind of like, really, what? Now, backstory on this. This is coming because, and there is no making light of what happened. So I'm not going to, include names, but if you've been following the news, especially with this bill, why this came about is because there's a college student, and God rest her soul, that I think it was just barely under 2 weeks ago, who went jogging. She's in school, because I got a freshman in school, just, your kid is fine in school and just doing college things, right? Went jogging and never returned back to her dorm. Come to find out, she had been murdered, and allegedly, the person who allegedly murdered her is an illegal immigrant who entered the country illegally, but was paroled by ICE, in the sense of, how they parole you and tell you, okay, report once a month, once every 3 months. That's what happened. And I think it was either last year, 2022. So allegedly, this person is the person who killed her. And based on the fact that they inquired into his status and found out that he's here illegally, that is what has sparked this bill. That now it's passed through the House. It's expected to pass through the Senate. The only thing that's probably going to stop the state of Georgia at this point is if the federal government, just like they did for the state of Texas, actually steps in and files a lawsuit against them. Because at the end of the day, immigration is federal practice. The only agency and the only body of government or arm of government that has any authority to make any laws, to change anything when it comes to immigration is the federal government, meaning U.S. Congress decides what immigration laws are going to be passed or change or whatever the case may be. States do not have any authorization to make anything immigration related. They've tried, that's why they keep trying, and they go to court and it's dashed and all that. But truth of the matter is this: even in my state, in the state of Alabama, God keep protect, I'm telling you, even in the state of Alabama, truth be told, because I do criminal practice, and I'm sure there's some people who are on here, because I have some people locally who join my life, but that's okay. The truth be told, because I do criminal practice, I've seen that, and because I do immigration law, the judges also know that I do immigration law. So whenever we have cases where someone maybe, especially when someone doesn't speak English, or it's been determined, I don't know how they are usually determined that it's been determined that the person doesn't have papers, I usually get appointed to that case. And I can tell you that 99.99% of the time, my clients will always have an ICE hold on them without fail. It's not because the ICE just miraculously knew that they were there, but because especially there's one county in particular where if that person is suspected to be undocumented and they cannot produce anything, that sheriff's department always, without fail, contacts ICE. And so even if my client makes bond, there's an hold on them that they have to transfer. But the good thing is, I think it's either 48 hours or 72 hours hold. So most of the time, ICE doesn't even show up anyway. So they have to release them. But they would always contact them. Well, state of Alabama, there's a law, but it's not. There's nothing there's no penalty for them if they don't. But somehow they always do. So it's not. Yes, they always do. So doing criminal defense, and y'all need to sit in court sometime. Like you're like, yes, it's like the man's my I know, because I'm not saying. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everyone bring everybody in and let crimes go on. No, what I'm saying is doing criminal defense work. I can count on one hand. I've been doing criminal defense work for almost 10 years. I can count on one hand how many of my clients have been undocumented in almost a decade. Point being, majority of my clients that I represent in criminal defense are American-born citizens. Point being, the fact that you're here illegally doesn't make you automatically a criminal. They are criminals. People of different status commits crime, and I hardly see. First is I'm Nigerian, so I can talk for Nigerians. Well, I'm about right now. That's just the truth. Now, some of us in Shifrodo, right? But we're here because we want a better life for our kids, right? Once they have their privilege, they become citizens. Most of us are heading back home or build matches and just retire back home. There's always one person or two or three but the fact that you're an immigrant doesn't automatically mean that you are, you're a fraudster or you're a murderer. But that's basically how this is going now. So it's yet to be seen what the state of Georgia will do. For those of you in the state of Georgia, this is just for you to know. If you have a pending case, I always tell my clients, especially if you're going to be traveling, I don't care how small, take screenshots. Even if you cannot carry paper everywhere, everyone has a phone now, everyone has a smartphone. Take photographs of your notices. Have screenshots of your notices always with you all the time, so that you've got proof that you've got something pending. If you don't have any case pending and you qualify for something, especially living in states like that, please understand it is time for you to go ahead and file your papers. That's with the filing fees coming up, and we talk more about that on Thursday, so you guys don't put things in perspective. You're going to be paying a whole lot more starting April 1st. It's like a madhouse for us this week, and expected. But like I said, well, we didn't come here to now be spending dollars and giving it back to the U.S. government. And don't even get me started on that, because taxes. Let's just leave that alone. However, just so be aware that this is what is going on in the state of Georgia. Hopefully, the federal government steps in and stops this madness. Condolences to the family of this young lady, but it does not mean that everyone here, because you're undocumented, doesn't make you a criminal. And that's all she wrote. You can imagine that I get very feisty and very passionate about what I do. I really do. See, I'm a Leo baby. We don't know how to hide our emotions. We are emotions and honestly. So you know what I'm feeling when I'm feeling it, what I like and don't like. But anyway, let's get to questions. Okay. Hello, Miss Onome. How are you? And yes, if you hello, Miss Giwa, happy new month to you as well. If you are, that is true. Happy new month, y'all. We haven't actually running March, right? Because this, yeah. Y'all, see, Miss Eleanor Sanctor, I was telling you, January was like a snail. February came with like boom, 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 let's go. This is the day 5 in March already. Like, y'all, it's already day 5. Like, at the very party March already. Like, we're marching ahead. Like you say, I have a lot of drama. I think I do. Y'all, you have to understand, I'm the only female in my house. When I was still married with my ex-husband, I mean, living with three boys. Oh no, boy, no self. What the brother in my 15 year, I'm brother in half a century. What? I know. Back in the day, when I was growing up, whenever I saw any man that was like 50 or even in their 40s, like, I'm going to be 46 this year. I'm like, what? Where did the time go? But we thank God. Listen, every year is a blessing. Every single day God gives us is a blessing. Gray hair is a blessing. There's no trying to turn. I ain't trying to turn the hands of no. It's a blessing to age. It's a blessing because that means you're living longer. God is blessing you and giving you what the Bible says that He would. The number of your days He will fulfill. That's it. But anyway, disclaimer. General information, general responses to questions. So, it helps you fine, but don't say as it's a lot of it's just that. Hello, Miss Tina. How are you? So happy new month. Happy new month, y'all. Happy new month. It's going to be a blessed and favored month. Okay. And we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. Let us know if we can help you. We'll be glad to represent you in your case. All right. Hey, TikTok family. All right, let's start from the beginning, then I'll come to Instagram. Just hang in there. Okay, let's see. Please do not repeat your questions. If you repeat questions, I'm going to skip right through it. So please do not. So that saves a lot of time. That says, what is the title? It's if you scroll all the way up, it is Georgia and the Immigration Bill. State of Georgia and the Immigration Bill. And that's what we just talked about. Okay. Are you possibly hiring non-lawyers? Son wants to work at immigration law. That's awesome, but I don't have any opening right now. What is the waiting period for Nigerians? For what? TD, hello. Where are you based? In Alabama, but we represent immigration clients in all states. Okay, so just talked about that. Is there a third interview after second interview for I-130? There's no telling. If USCIS decides their cases, can this get scheduled for more than 2 interviews? Absolutely. I actually have a case that I didn't start the case, but I came in when they got a request for evidence, submitted that, and then they sent an interview notice, and we have that coming up. So, and that's going to be the third. So by the time I came in there, I had 2 interviews, and now they're scheduling us for a third interview. So wish us luck, because I'm okay. I'm already like to lodge and because kilo le tan yẹn 𝒃𝒂💏 green card kò lè kò sẹ́ni tó gbé bọ̀ wọ́n àjẹdá ní kẹ́ fún wa green card. It's not that serious, but anyway, so it's possible. I need to file for citizenship. What do I do? Consult with a lawyer if you're not sure what to do. Okay. I've applied for I-130 for my children. Can I still apply for them to visit? You're not applying for them to visit. They're going to apply for themselves to visit. You don't file visitor visa on people's behalf. But I mean, you file, but they have to go for the interview themselves. So can they apply for visitor visas while an I-130 is pending? They can. Nothing stops them from doing that. But USCIS will take into consideration that you've got immigrant petitions that are pending on their behalf, and they may or may not grant it based on that. Okay. Can I get a driver's license for every 6? I don't know. That's going to be up to your DMV. Let's see. Hello, Patrick. Okay, let's see. Can someone apply for EAD while case is still in appeal? Generally, no, because there is no basis for you to apply for an EAD. Now, the only time that if you've got an appeal pending, that you may still have something to work with, or in the sense of getting authorization to work, is if you've got a pending I-751. So, for instance, they deny you 751, you file an appeal, and well, you can appeal. You file a motion to reopen a 1990B. As long as your status has not been terminated, even though that's what the notice would say, but an immigration judge has not terminated your status, then USCIS still has to keep giving your stamp. Other than that, you cannot apply for work permits while you have an I-290B. This bill wouldn't be good one at all for innocent ones trying to make it. I'm telling you, because, you know, hardly do you see any of us come here that doesn't have an accent. I mean, how you? Well, we're just gonna have to wait to see what they plan to do. Okay. Guys, power tap for our dealer. Thank you. Appreciate that. Make sure you share on TikTok as well. Invite your friends. Go on our page. Follow us. That will be very, very appreciated. Do you handle criminal cases only in the state of Alabama? So we this week, for whatever reason, yesterday and today, we've had quite unusual high volume of calls for divorce cases. So I can represent immigration clients in any state because it's federal practice. So as long as an immigration lawyer is licensed, and a lawyer is licensed in any state and practice immigration law, they can represent you in any state. So in my case, I'm licensed in Alabama and I'm also licensed in the state of New York. I can represent immigration clients in any state based on those two licenses. However, when it comes to anything else that is not federal, like divorce, criminal, then you've got to get a lawyer in your state of residence. If you live in the state of Alabama, for instance, I can represent you in criminal cases. I can represent you in divorce cases. Outside the state of Alabama, no, I cannot, because those are state-specific laws. So I hope that helps. How young are you? I'm 45. I don't know what women age. 45. 45 and a half. Let's not push 46 yet. I'll be 46 in August. So we'll be 46 in August. I'm really, really having a lot of fun poking fun at my ex-husband. The other day I told him, like, ain't daddy, Dr. Lale. He might expect we half a century care. It's just not the right number. He goes, okay, we'll go for a corner. Like, no. You and I are not in the same age bracket. But guess who it chimed in? Lo and behold, the youngest kid, who shall not be named, who is here. He goes, but if you and dad actually are in the same age group, because you know how they ask you questions on the forums and they say, and they group you guys are going to be grouped in the same age bracket. And obviously his dad had a good time laughing, like, well, anyway, let's see. Adam Walsh case, what about it? Is it okay at this time for an undocumented person travel domestic to Georgia at this time? I won't let that stop you. It's because it's not. Keep in mind, it's not in effect yet, right? This is still in the process of becoming a law if it ever makes it there. It's been passed on one part of the state legislator, and then it's been forwarded to the other. Even if they pass it, it's got to be forwarded to the governor and then sign into bill and have an effective date. So that's still going to take it a while. Before that even becomes effective, I would anticipate that the federal government will step in at some point. So my wife I-130 petition got approved. Congratulations. How long does the I-485 take to be approved? We'll live in New York. Anything about how long something's going to take, please go on uscis.gov/processing times, especially when a 485 is not approved at the same time with an I-130. There may be other reasons for it. something that investigating, whatever the case may be, because usually they'll prove them, concurrently, but sometimes they do not, and there may be a reason behind it. Okay. I applied for an I-130 for my dad on November 1, 2022. Not yet approved. My dad lives in Ethiopia. Should I worry? Why should you worry? About what? Why would you be worried? What is the role of a congressman in immigration cases? Just to help you inquire into your case, and if there's anything they can do to expedite it, especially depending on what you're seeking their assistance for. Can a lawyer represent me in my marriage-based green card interview? Absolutely. Interviews in April. Consular processing. Do I need to submit an updated I-864 before interview? You do not. What documents do I need to remove a conditional green card? Sit down with a lawyer to evaluate your case and get the list of documents you need. My brother's case has been pending at NBC. Is that a good thing? And how long do they take to reply? I don't know what case is pending at NBC. What kind of case is it? Okay. Let's see. Any hopes for an undocumented here to be legal? I bought a house. I filed my income tax. A file of my income tax updated. Consult with a lawyer and see what you may or may not be eligible for. Okay. I petitioned for K1 visa. I received the receipt of reception. You mean you received notice 7 months ago? What should I do next? Wait for your case to be approved. Okay. Anything about how long something's going to take? Once again, uscis.gov/processing times will give you an idea how long you waited for something. Enter the U.S. in, let me put this is not. Enter the U.S. in January 2011 with validity till June 2011. Filed for asylum in April 2011. I've accrued unlawful presence. Once again, general information, nothing specific to anyone's case because this is just a general form. Generally, as long as you filed the asylum before your I-94 expired, in your case, you're saying your I-94 is good. As long as it's the I-94 that is good till June, not your visa, because visa doesn't apply when you come into the country. As long as that's what you're saying, I-94 did not expire until June. You filed the asylum in April. When you file asylum, it holds the accruement of a lawful presence, meaning the pauses that you're not going to be accruing a lawful presence until a decision has made on your asylum case. So in your case, if that's what, based on what you're saying, then generally you should not have been accruing any unlawful presence so far until if they have made a decision in your asylum case. And I'll be surprised if your case has not been scheduled for an interview since 2011. But once they make a decision in your case, in the sense, for instance, if they refer you to immigration court, then that's it. That's no shield after that. Okay. I would like to talk to you about my VAR case. You can set up a consultation to discuss your case. If you go on our website, olalayalawfirm.com, you'll be able to set up your consultation yourself very, very easily. Or text 334-341-4475 and someone would send you the link to do that. But the fastest way is to go on our website, olalayalawfirm.com. It's the link is on any of our social media platforms. You'll be able to see it there. Let's see. My husband leave the house to you. So that's the thing. You have to discuss your case and see whether or not you're eligible for VAR. I have a travel document combo card pending. I-360 and I-45. You're the same person who filed for us. Okay. I'd like to visit Canada. What are the risks? Will I have any problems at the port of entry? I can't foresee that. I can I don't know. Um, can I get FAFSA student grant aid to study with a private fisher? Some of my clients have actually been able to get that. My daughter married an LPR. She overstayed her visa. Now her case has come current. Can her children her out the US? Happen to the children's case they did. Okay. Ms. Maxine, can you rephrase your question? I'm not sure what you're asking me. Current. Can her children are out the U.S. happen to the children's cases if they're? Are you asking what will happen to the children's cases if they're getting a divorce? So generally, if they're getting a divorce, I don't. This is just very, very general. If they're getting a divorce, then the children cannot derive from that person anymore. Then the father will, and if that's the father of the children, will probably have to now file for those kids as long as they still are eligible and unmarried. Even if they're over 21, as long as they stay unmarried, because an LPR cannot file for a married child. But I'm assuming that's what you're asking me, but your question is not really clear. How much? I don't do witchcraft. You may think so, but I don't. Okay. Let me go to Instagram. Yeah, you're right. Instagram, original. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Thank you, Mr. Demula. KVNG, I am doing good. Thank you for asking. I'm a go. That's telephone, right? Yeah, and clock and wristwatch, all of that. And A3 mobile Yoruba language, even though it was by miracle, but we still give God the glory. We still give God the glory. Oh my God. When you feel you have already failed OT failed exam, But only sort if it to someone be like family planning. What you lost christening. But then you had an A3. Isn't that won't Jesus do it? My mom was shocked, like, Kimmy, hey, was it better on team fight on my behalf? At the petty a long team fight on my behalf. Let's see. When and what and how long can one wait after citizenship interview is passed? I still haven't received my letter for ceremony. They have 120 days after your interview to make a decision. If they do not make a decision, the law is that you can actually sue them, sue them for judicial review. I have seen that whenever I send demand letters, especially citizenship related, maybe 3 cases where they just don't respond, and then we just move forward to the ombudsman inquiry, or I just refer my client to go file a lawsuit. But I would say 180 days maximum. I usually don't even wait that. 120 days, day 125, I'm ready sending a letter. 180 days, then it's time to them. If you're waiting 1 year, it just depends on each person. I've had consult with people where we have a consultation and say, you know what, just give it another 60 days, and God willing, to get their old ceremony notice. But I don't know how long yours has been. So that's how it is. Absolutely, financially. You're very dear to my heart. Always good to see you, Miss Island Gal. Always good to see you. Thank you. Let's see. Politically unexplainable things. That you couldn't have said it better. Yep, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know. I mean, you just group everybody. I mean, there's nothing. Don't get me wrong. It's sad. I mean, you can't. That was just a sad, sad thing that happened. People are crazy. Some people just have. I don't know if it's mental illness or just they say this generally. Just person they are. But to now group a whole, to now categorize a whole group of people based on the actions of one singular person, how does that make sense? Oh, I didn't even know that about the guy. See? Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, everyone has a smartphone. There's no reason why you shouldn't have your notices with you all the time. Okay, fine, understanding. But see, and I was telling someone earlier today because we multiply with till Jesus comes back. But if you're just coming to us this month, there will because if we're trying to expedite you, because that's what it is right now, trying to expedite those cases out before April 1st, there will be an expedited fee added to your base fee. That's just what it is. Because that means I've got to overwork my paralegals and hope they don't cuss me out when they're working. But yeah, but there's still time to get your cases out. Let me put things in perspective for you. If you're paying $1,760 now for a marriage-based case, you're going to be paying at least $3,005 or $3,265, depending on whether you file your I-765 together with your adjustment status or not. That is almost double what you're paying. So, and now we've what are the best ways to manage your joint mortgage with an ex-spouse while being married to a new spouse and going through marriage petitions? Huh? Okay. If I want a nanny from Nigeria, do I have to apply for her here or in Nigeria? Anything you want. It depends on what it is, what kind of visa you're applying for. If you're applying for an immigrant, alien work immigrant petition, then that's an employment route that you're going to be the employer. Then you file the petition here. If she's applying for like a J1 au pair non-immigrant visa, that's something she files on her own. So to know your best option, you may want to sit down with the lawyer and figure out what your best option will be. Is it compulsory to have joint bank accounts when filing for adjustment of status? It's not mandatory. It's helpful because the one place that USCIS adjudicating officers look to is because people don't play with their money. Like I am half Ijebu. Like I don't even know if you call that half because I'm Ijebu, I'm Yoruba, and I'm Yoruba all in one. Go figure. But that Ijebu part of me, I don't play with my money. I don't play with my money. I was engaged to somebody that I said, hey, we're going to have to do a prenup if we're going to plan to get married. And he said no. And I said, bye. So, because USCIS sees money as a way to determine whether or not you are, and it's not just a joint bank account. I always tell people it's not about having a joint bank account. It's about seeing you commingling your funds, and do both parties to that marriage have access to their account and that they using it for the household. So that's where it comes into play. So that's a good evidence. If you have something that shows that not only do you have both names, anybody can put anybody's name anywhere, but do both of you have access to the account and using it for everyday expenses, gas, grocery, whatever the case may be, bills, that's what really matters. So if you're able to get that, that's helpful, but it's not like it's mandatory. It's just one of the very helpful, credible evidence. Let me put it that way. Disclaimer, the more you know. I forgot it was a new month until I saw my accounts. Bills. Tell me about it. Yeah. Have you guys noticed that somehow this bill people, this bills, whatever it is, cable, water, they don't ever forget to send you the bills. Don't in mortgage, they don't ever forget. They always remember in their own time. My insurance is they won't even give me insurance through my because I work for my firm. I'm employed by a law firm, and they won't even give us it has to be auto pay the first of each month without fail. Automatic because then and you people making back really quick. Okay, oh, weekend no. Oh my, you're straight me. Can someone that is an asylum get married to an American? Yeah, marriage doesn't stop you. Getting married and filing a marriage-based case does not mean that it doesn't have an effect on your asylum case. You can have both concurrently. And when your marriage case is approved, let them know that your asylum case is you want to withdraw your asylum based on the fact that you do not have your green card. I live in Missouri on an H-1B visa for marriage green card. Will my current visa make it easier? It's not going to make it easier. What matters is whether you're in the marriage in good faith or for the green card. Now, what can if you've got a non-immigrant visa and it's a viable route or alternative for you to get a green card, then that helps in the sense of then it helps to show that you're not necessarily there just for the card to get the green card through the spouse because you have an alternative. So it kind of helps that way, but it's still about you having credible evidence to show that you have a bona fide marriage. Can someone with 2 years green card file a divorce due to abuse? You can. There's nothing stops you from doing that. And then once you're going to be filing for your 10-year green card. Either you have the divorce grant, abuse grant, or both of them if you qualify. It's the auto pay week. You wake up to your payment. That's exactly what I was saying. They don't waste time. It's gone. Shh, like that. It's like check back with one new month. Check the new kill. Well. It might see you can send bills out on you. No. You do the bills before you. I mean, come on, people. But anyway, that's how it is. After responding to RFE and no acknowledgement of the document was received on your status, and deadline is closed based on the notice, what should one do? That's why I always say, make sure you send in anything you're sending to USCIS. Please make sure you send it with verifiable mail. You've got to have trackable mail. You've got to have a tracking number because I cannot even tell you how many times that has actually helped us. Maybe they deny a case and we have to file a service request. You're like, people in go show look at this time for you. What's going on? So you've got to have evidence that because not every case is going to be updated that they received your response. That's going to be your proof that you actually sent in the response. And what we do in my firm is we actually sent by express mail where we require somebody to sign for it. And then when we have confirmation of it, I print out whoever is on the case. But most of the time, because I have OCD, I just have to make sure it's in someone's file. I print out or attach to the person's file proof of delivery that we can, always present at any time if we need it. Most of the time we don't, but you never know. So when you're asked for evidence for USCIS, what does it mean? That's exactly what they're asking you for evidence. I'm asylum pending married to a U.S. citizen 3 months ago. Now I'm preparing to put my papers for a green card. Can I file my tax separately or do we have to do it together? Generally, it's advised to file your taxes together unless you have a reason not to. Finance Shandy, really? Okay. Yoruba mi ò bá dùn yẹn. Said we need a qualified Yoruba teacher for Sicily with pain. I love my number, Elaine. Yeah, and I'm coming for you. You're the best man for the job. Listen. Just leave my Yoruba no. You leave it. Miss Mary, you too. F. Miller. See, you say tomato, I say tomato. As long as I understand Gatsimun, so that's what matters. Yeah. My dad, don't come for me. You're Igbo people. Don't come for me. My dad got rest his soul. He used to say that Abisola, Abi Mama, no so your baby boy. That's my dad. Like, I don't know how Omoibo sounds, but that's what my dad used to say. I don't so your baby Omoibo. Yeah, Igbo, don't come for me. I'm just saying. Should one call USCIS after submitting a response to RFE and status hasn't reflected? Okay, that's the same person. Okay, let's see. How long are U visa processing times? I don't do U visas anymore, but I have a friend who just sent me, I think it was yesterday. Like, can you believe how long this case took? The U visa was filed in 2016 and was approved yesterday. So go figure that. I don't do it anymore, but just that's the most recent one. I thought I-131, I-130, 485. I live in Missouri, currently in H1B Orange. Okay, you're the same person who asked that question. That's a good point, TJ. Miss Abena, oh, really? Okay. You're right. No, I'm not the same group age bracket as your dad. You have to understand, he's going to be 50 this year. The man is half a century. I am not close to half a century yet. So, big difference. Huge difference. Let's see. Okay, same person. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, George. Do you need proof of living together to file VA? Yes, absolutely. Shared residency. Okay. You okay? No, A3, because you won. Twelve me when you're better. Even go my dark pada. Even go my dark. No. I try she gone, but take the I can reduce it because I want yes sir. A1, you no, it's not gonna happen. Okay, let's see. Yes, it is, but yeah, I'll get to her absolutely. I think I'm going to make you the moderator, Miss Abena, really for real, because I think we need to start that sometime. You and I should talk. Can you apply for VA outside America if you got married in America and the abuse was in America? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, you can. That's especially if the abuse, it's not about where you got married, but if the abuse actually happened and your abusive spouse is green card holder or citizen. A green card of 10 years is getting close to being expired. Unfortunately, life happened and the resident hasn't renewed. What are the potential obstacles? How much does it cost? I don't discuss fees outside of proper paid consultation. Isn't lawyer needed? I would advise that they have the circumstances why they didn't renew evaluated so they know how to there's no requirement, especially when it's a 10-year green card, but it's always advisable. And then another thing they want to do is figure out why haven't they filed for citizenship? So those are things that a lawyer will be able to help you evaluate. If my wife files I-130 for my son when he was 19, how long before it would be approved? I can't tell you that. The USC has a gov forward such processing times will tell you that. Silence. My husband half paycheck goes into that we pay. And perfect. Exactly. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Just like Fanny said, it's because do you know how many people can come up with joint bank accounts? My name is on my my 19-year-old. Well, he got the account when he was 15, so they needed my name on it. But I still have my name. Don't tell him. He's probably on here because he's an adult now. But I like the fact that I can see what's going on because I'm a mom. I'm a Nigerian mom. We're nosy as hell. So, but I don't touch his account. I don't use his account. It's no transaction has ever happened that I'm using his account. So, my name is on his account. Doesn't make any difference. It's about what are you doing with that account. So that's where. Hello, Epic Movement. How are you? Don't forget me now. Oh, perfect. I was just saying it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. How long does it take to renew employment authorization? Once I-130 is approved, can one file I-45 or work permit even if date isn't current and just wait? And will work permit come sooner? Family U.S. citizen sponsoring adult child. You cannot file I-45 if your date is not current. U.S. citizen sponsoring adult child. If your date is not current, you can't file I-45. If you file it, they'll return it back to you. Now, it's not just about filing the I-45. Just make sure you're still in valid status. If you file a 485, you get a work permit, okay, yes. But then the question is, can you get your green card? If you're not in valid status, you're not going to get a green card in the country. Just making sure you understand that. Okay. House number is locked. Let's see. All right. Okay, let's see. If you sponsor your parent who was granted 10 years green card, should the sponsor file her as tax dependent? The fact that you sponsor your parents doesn't automatically qualify them as sponsoring them for a green card is not sponsoring them being a dependent on your taxes. That's something that's the conversation with your CPA or your tax preparer. Okay, let's see. What happens when the priority date changes from September 4, 2025 to April 6, 25? Regarding what? Okay. Are you experiencing EB1A filing? What is your success rate? And if you don't mind me asking, I don't do EB1s. I do EB2 or national interest waiver, EB2 employer sponsored. Okay, let's see. Okay, so maybe not after like one. Yeah, well, call me and see, or text me Epic Movements and see, because I'm hungry. I'm going to be eating after. Yeah. All right then. Okay, I think I got. So then we got most of, if not all, the questions. All right. Can I file for vow while living in the U.S. and go back to my home country to wait for the decision? You can. It's not advisable if you don't have to, but you can. General information, you can. Does a child that is over 18 years old qualify for adjustment of status if the mother marries an American citizen? As long as the marriage happened before the child turned 18, then if the mother marries a U.S. citizen, and I know who you are, but if the marriage happened before the child turned 18, if the child is already 18 years old, if mother's married to a U.S. citizen does not benefit that child, even though the child is under 21. The marriage must have occurred before the marriage must have occurred before the child turns 18. My daughter has been refused student visa twice last year because of my status as not having a green card yet. Please, can she apply for the H1 work visa as a graduate without the embassy still referring to the former? It's still a non-immigrant visa. H1B visa is an employer sponsor. She's got to have an employer, H1B employer that is willing to offer her a job. If the person is cap subject, which starts tomorrow, they have to submit a registration. There's a whole lot. H1B is not something you just apply for. It's something an employer has to apply for on your behalf. Once they file the petition, it's approved, then the person applies for that visa stamp at the embassy. But it starts with the employer. It's not something you apply for on your own. My husband lives in the house 2 years ago. He has been verbally abusive. Me and my son cannot apply for. It's best for you to sit down with a lawyer to just make sure you qualify for that. And as long as you're still legally married to him, even though he left, but there hasn't been a divorce, or even if there's been a divorce, it hasn't been more than 2 years, then potentially you qualify. But I'll just say have your case evaluated and make sure. Okay, let's see. What state can an immigrant move to without being profiled? I don't think profiling is. If you've got this color, how you there's a way you can skip it. There's no state that is all black or all Hispanic or all Asian. I mean, long as just like, all right, fine, Shani. All right, everybody. So 1 hour, we're done. But let me just say this. Listen, it doesn't let people make all the laws they want to make. That's okay. The person, the ultimate judge, the one who has spoken the earth and this world into existence, has the final say in all that we do. All this that men, we're all men. We're just humans making laws and thinking we can disrupt other people's lives. There's nothing that can disrupt your life or disrupt the destiny that God has assigned for you. There's absolutely nothing that anyone can do that's going to disrupt the life or destiny that God has assigned for you. And as we started this new month, we know that God has marched before us, and he will march with us into where we are destined to be. Let people, Bible says, 1,000 will fall at our side, 10,000 by our right side, but they shall not come near us. Only with our eyes will we behold the road of the wicked. There's nothing that evildoers will do. They may think they've succeeded, but until God speaks, who dares to speak? So let's keep marching on and just do what we can. Just keep hope. The one thing you should not do is don't ever get defeated here. As long as you don't get defeated here, you may not see what it is that you are praying and hoping for. Just keep believing. Keep holding on. It's not over until God has spoken. And if God has not spoken, let people keep speaking. So just keep holding on. It shall be well. It must be well. We have not come to a foreign land to fail. I'll see you guys.